This painting took me 13 months to paint. I would say out of all my paintings, this painting called Kundalini holds the most spiritual yoga concepts wrapped up into one piece. When we talk of Kundalini, Kundalini is your stored divine potential that's waiting to be awakened in your pelvic floor. In terms of Kundalini, there's a macroscopic version and a microscopic version. So let's start at the macroscopic. The macroscopic, the energy around in the cosmos and in the air that we breathe, the space in between you and me, is called Maha Prana. So Maha means great, Prana means the energy around us, and we consume this Maha Prana through our breathing. And this breathing infuses the prana throughout our body, and that's the life force that keeps us alive. It's not just the oxygen molecule that we're taking in, there's something more to the prana in the atmosphere. And an interesting side story, Tesla, about 100 years ago, a scientist, found a way to tap into what's called the prana in the air, and he found that 1 cubic square inch of space has enough energy to fuel the entire planet for 1 day. And this will just get automatically recharged and refueled. We'll go off, maybe come back to that. When we breathe in this, it goes throughout all of our 100 trillion cells in our body, and it sustains us and keeps us alive. How Kundalini is manifested in your body is in terms of our awakening and so forth. So this Kundalini is a sleeping dormant force. It is sometimes referred to as a sleeping snake that's wrapped around your Muladhara chakra, like your root chakra. The word Kundalini also means pit or cavity, meaning you have a bottomless pit of divine potential that you're waiting to awaken and allow it to elevate. And when this potential awakens and elevates, your consciousness will elevate along with it. So my idea here was to create the chakras, your 7 chakras, starting from your pelvic floor to the crown of your head. So think of the bottom of the painting being the pelvic floor, the top of the painting being the crown of your head. Each level, there are 54 snakes. I actually want to do 108 snakes. 108 is a very auspicious number. The sun is 108 times the diameter of the earth. The sun is 108 suns away from the earth. And the moon is 108 moons away from the earth. So the interesting thing is, if they didn't have telescopes and calculators way back when, how did the yogis know about this? Meaning they knew something more than what we know now. So didn't have enough space, so I had to take half of one away to make 54. I got 3 snakes coming out on each level, and the reason they're different colors is because each level of realization has a different color. When we go down from the macro prana to the microcosmic, it's represented in your body through the Sushumna Nadi, meaning you have like an energy highway that goes up your spine. You have 2 sub-channels that go on either side of the spine called your Ida and your Pignali. Now these will elevate out of the root chakra, they will crisscross through each chakra and go up your Sushumna Nadi like so. And when again this energy rises through the various energetic centers, your behavior and how you interpret and see and experience and live in the world changes along with it. So the microcosmic version of Kundalini is represented in your chakras, and it's also represented in the 5 sub-pranas in your body. Meaning the prana that we're taking in from the air, once it gets into the body, breaks down into 5 different pieces, so to speak. You have prana that circulates in your rib cage. You have apana that circulates in your lower belly. You have samana, which circulates in between the 2. You have udana, which is in your extremities, and you have avyana prana that circulates everywhere throughout your body. It's thought that the in-breath is the prana, the out-breath is the apana, the pause between the inhale and the exhale is the samana, and the extension of the samana, meaning the holding of the breath in between, is the udana. These 5 sub-pranas regulate all the organs and the functions in the body. Okay? And that is what's going to rise up through the Sushumna and up through the 2 sub-channels on either side. Now when they go through the chakras, the energy centers, Each chakra's got a name, and each chakra represents a different part of you. So if we start at the bottom, Muladhara chakra is the earth element. This is the area of your connection to the earth, your stability to life. It is included also your lower desires, your anger and your fear, your sexual desires, your lust and your jealousy and so forth. It's all lower forms of behavior that as an adult we start to hopefully gain a little control over, and we start to live in a higher, different center. So when you come up to Swadhisthana, which is your second chakra, that is the area of your imagination. That is the area where you start to see your body as, or who you are as an ego. Meaning, I see myself as a yoga teacher, or I see myself as a mother, I see myself as this, or I see myself as that. Meaning, I'm identifying with my body, which is an illusion. Because really, I'm not just the body, I'm the energy that's behind the body. So people work really hard to get those jobs, those houses, the cars, the nice sunglasses, and so on. But sooner or later, no matter how many cars you get, that car is going to break down. Then you're going to want a new one. And then that car is going to break down, or it's going to rust, or it's going to get dented. So whatever you're identifying with in the transient world, it's going to break down, and it's not going to provide lasting happiness. Meaning we look for happiness in ways which never can give us happiness. So when we come up to our third chakra, which is your Manipura, here you start to see that there is a silent witness beyond my emotional content, beyond my physical body, even beyond me thinking. There's some silence. Sometimes I experience a sliver of this silence. And then what that does, it gives me a glimpse to realize that, you know, I'm not just my body, I'm not just my mind, I'm not just my emotions, I am something else. And this also is your area of your life, of your digestion, and more importantly, your ability to digest life. Meaning you're going to try to go through life not just being thrown around with the ups and downs, but being content whether I don't get that good job. Being content whether I don't have that Lamborghini, which I've always wanted, or the big house, or this, or that. When we come into our heart chakra, this is the chakra of the Dalai Lama. This is your area of compassion, of empathy, of connecting with your fellow human, where you can empathize with their situations. For example, someone is angry and stressed, and if you were operating in that same chakra as they were, you would get angry back at them and stressed. But if you're operating out of your heart chakra, you have empathy for what they're experiencing. And maybe you choose the appropriate response which doesn't further their anger response. And maybe through your behavior, your energy, you can help the people around you elevate their energy or their consciousness or so on. Jesus operated out of that chakra. That is universal compassion, meaning I no longer see male, female, black skin, white skin, tall people, short people. I see universal spirits all around us. We're all here to do something. Let's all start respecting each other, stop judging each other, and why can't we just get along? 2,000 years since Jesus, and we're just as far off from his teachings as we were when he was walking here. We come up to Vishuddhi, which is your throat chakra. That's your ability to express yourself in the world. Meaning, not just saying words, but saying words that are meaningful, that are heartfelt, and can express the appropriate content to the people in your life that moves everyone along in a positive direction. Meaning we tend to spend too much time talking about irrelevant things, and we never say the words that are really meant to be said. Why is saying I love you so hard to say? Because we're just a little detached from saying the real things that need to be said, and we're too much stuck in the area of talking about drama, talking about this, and talking about that. This is the area that artists work out of. When their throat chakra is open, they can feel something and they can express it. Whereas before a little earlier I was talking about I felt something and I wasn't able to kind of put the right things forth to get my message out. When your throat chakra starts to open, it's like a faucet that just flows. And with fluidity and flows, you just follow where the flow goes. People who work out of this chakra are eloquent with their words. They are good communicators. They say what needs to be said at the right time. and not just filling the air with randomless words.